What's good, everybody? It's the man you all know and love. Hey, you're watching another episode of the Ravens Review.
She got that bomb every day of the week, and we rock it so tough. We rock it so tough. When I make that bomb,
What special teams coverage.
Wow.
They down.
bomb, boom, blow up, fire. I know you
Jackson has run it every time out of this formation. He does it again.
You like how it feels.
First and 10. Good call, Rich. That's picked.
I make that bomb, boom, blow up, fire, fire.
What's good, good people, and welcome to another episode of Ravens Review right here on Charm City Direct TV. Special shout out to my brunch crew, as always, the man, the guru, Terry, the cannabis nurse, Ashley, and the incredible, the phenomenal Lise. Make sure you check us out every Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Millennials Anonymous Podcast, Charm City Direct TV, and also YouTube. You can check us out there. Make sure to interact with us. Drop some questions for the Ask Ashley segment. Also, the Terry segment, Ask the Guru, or Talk with the Guru, I believe. And also tune in for the Meet of the Week, who is going to be. Make sure you do that. There's a lot to talk about, people, because now we are in the postseason, and as I will call, the road to the Super Bowl. A lot of teams have overcome. A lot of great teams are in the pursuit of the Super Bowl. Baltimore Ravens are there. Never in the history of football, as I've been watching or living on God's green earth, have I never seen the team having home field advantage. So that is a plus for me. And also, we are the number one seed in the the AFC. And that their whole overall performance is just incredible. Those who know Lamar Jackson did have the flu. Since then, he has overcome. He was in practice, I believe, either yesterday or today. So that is a good thing. And if you were watching last week's game with the Ravens and the Steelers are out, got eliminated. And they were here. I believe they came here to play. And the score was 28-10, I believe. So shout out to the Baltimore Ravens for that incredible win. Sweet, they beat them twice. So like I said, shout out to the Ravens. But the playoff picture as it stands right now is very interesting because you have some games that's coming up. Starting with the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. They will be playing later on today at 4:35 p.m. You can check out your local listings for the channel or the correct time. This is Eastern Standard Time that I'm giving you, 4:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, the Tennessee Titans and the Patriots will be playing later on today, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all of these games that I'm mentioning, these are like real important games because we're going to find out who's playing who and who's going to be eliminated. So, and then Sunday on the 5th, you have the Minnesota Vikings and the Saints, New Orleans Saints, that's going to be playing at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you have the Seattle Seahawks playing the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, and that game is later on Sunday, 4:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're like me, what I normally do, I watch the playoffs. I'm glued to the TV to see who's going where, who's doing what, who's going to get eliminated, who's going to progress onto the road to the Super Bowl. But more importantly, like I said, who's going to play the Ravens. So the question that I put on Facebook, and I put the bracket up, and I asked, who y'all got? Who y'all got in the playoffs? And they were some very interesting comments, if I could find those comments on Facebook. And a lot of people were, of course, in favor of the Baltimore Ravens coming out on top. A lot of people wasn't, but you know, that's expected, especially, you know, all the all the other team fans. So I'm gonna just try to read some of these comments if I can. Shout out to Jason. He always respond, and he says, Ravens, baby, all day. Shout out to Terry, who commented and said, the Saints and the Niners, NFC Championship, Baltimore and the Patriots. I always say Pittsburgh when I mention the Patriots. Baltimore and the Patriots, AFC Championship, Super Bowl, and this is what he said, Super Bowl, Ravens and the Niners, Ravens by 14. And that's what he said. And then my good friend Jason, he replied, the Patriots won't make it. They just not going to make it. So shout out those guys. And Lyrics, she wrote, Texans versus the Ravens, Eagles over the 49ers, Pittsburgh versus Kansas City Chiefs, and the Saints versus the Giants. I don't know if the Giants are still playing or in the hunt. So I don't know. And Hector, shout out to Hector, he wrote Ravens versus the 49ers with Ravens winning it all. And they were the comments that was presented after I put up the post. So now I'm asking you, everybody out there who's listening, who you got? And of course, you've seen the playoff picture, you've seen the playoff bracket. You can make your choice. You can either comment watching this video on the comments below, and that is with Facebook. Also, you could go to YouTube and post your comments below on YouTube, or send me an inbox on Facebook, however you want to do it. I want to hear from you. I want your opinion now of what you think about the whole overall playoff picture. Who you got winning, who you got coming, winning the divisional championships, and who you got winning the Super Bowl. I would love to know. And on a lighter note, I wanted to tell everybody out there, I read a article today as a response to the article that was placed in the Baltimore Sun about Lamar Jackson, about him spending his money on the O-line, buying them watches, that I briefly talked about in the last episode, or I think I went on live and I did a live, but then I went and talked about it. But this person pretty much responded to the article saying that Lamar Jackson could have spent his money on something else much, bigger, or to a charity, so to speak. And he outlined some charities that Lamar Jackson did that she didn't even want to talk about, that was really incredible to listen to or to hear about. And of course, I don't have the article, but he went on to say that, Lamar Jackson did a charity or a backpack drive where he gave, I want to say $24,000 of his own money. And also he does charity work, and he donates to other charities throughout the city of Baltimore. But then he also noted that there's a lot of other players who do the same that she failed to mention, and pretty much same thing that I said. There's some players in the NFL right now who has done it, and they never get mentioned to the extent of what she said about Lamar Jackson. And then he went on to, talk about that, it goes past the money. It goes past the money, and look at him as a individual, what type of person this man is, and, where's his heart. And like I said before, he is a very humble individual, never had the chance to meet him. This is what I see on TV. He always put God first in his press conferences, and then in his public speaking when he's out on the field and they asked him, because he always puts himself last and he put the team first. And that was something that we had talked about in the last episode. And, like I said, set aside the money, she never said anything about him as a person, what type of person he is, what kind of, the kindness, the heartfelt gestures that he performed daily on and off the field. So I just want to shout out the guy. They said his name was McDaniel. Shout out to you, sir, for creating and posting that wonderful response article, because people are going to talk. We understand that. We already clarified that. But, before you talk, do your history, do your research, and look at all the other people that have done this. Not just one person. There's countless others who do this. And also, I wanted to bring to your attention, I said this today on Brunchin'. If y'all get a chance, watch that episode today. Rob Gronkowski, y'all all know him. He was I don't know his position. He was a former player of the New England Patriots. If y'all saw the New Year's broadcast, the New Year's broadcast that they do every year, Steve Harvey. We all know Steve Harvey, Family Feud, the Steve Harvey Show. Steve Harvey was on stage and he was speaking, and there was a situation where Gronk, as he is so affectionately is called, came on the stage, and there was a bust. And if you ask what a bust is, there was a bust of Steve Harvey. There was his head and the shoulders. That's a bust. And it was made out of Legos. And it was on the stage with them during the time. And Steve Harvey, like I said, was talking, and Gronk got on stage with this old school football hookup, like the old school helmet, the shirt, the pants. And everybody said, Gronk, that's Gronk. He's drunk, he loves to party, that's Gronk. So he gets on stage, he's talking, I'm coming back to the NFL, I'm coming back to the Patriots, I'm gonna play one last game, this, that, yada, yada. So, Steve is looking at him, playing along with it. So lo and behold, like I said, the bus is like right there on a stand, and he picks the bust up and said, I want to show y'all my end zone touchdown dance, or so to speak. And he picks the bust up and slams it down on the floor and proceeds to kick it and still doing the dance. Now, I was reading a little bit into it. First off, they said he was intoxicated. Second of all, they said none of that was in the script. And Steve Harvey was livid. He was livid. So he was like, I don't want to work with this man no more, this, that. He was fuming because the bust was presented to Steve Harvey because somebody made it out of Legos. And he's had it for a while. So I don't know why he brought it to the New Year's Eve thing. I don't know why. But for him to get on stage and pick it up and throw it down and kick it, That's a little disrespectful. Now, I'm not a big fan of Steve Harvey, and I'm surely not a fan of Gronk. I mean, I don't even like the team, if you ask me. But I believe that Gronk needs to apologize to Mr. Harvey and, you know, get somebody to make him another bus, if you ask me. So, disrespectful. That's all I need to say. Hey, this has been my time. This has been another great episode of Ravens Review. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up at my email at charmcitydirect73@gmail.com. Feedback, comments, questions, or you could go on Facebook, hit me up there, Charm City Direct TV, or you can leave your comments, your feedback on your YouTube channel of Charm City Direct TV at Charm City Direct TV. Hey, you've been great as always. Until next time, this has been the Ravens Review. Peace.